All right, so we're gonna talk about why it's so important when you're changing your self-concept, especially when it comes to your love life and manifesting your SP back. This is how you really train yourself to ignore the 3D and not allow the 3D to change your knowing or change your new story of your self-concept. This is what I have personally experienced, and this is how I got massive shifts and big results with my SP. So stay tuned, you don't wanna miss this. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I just want to welcome everyone who's new to my channel. Thank you so much. For those of you that have been riding with me for a while, I love you all, and thank you so much as well. So today I'm excited to talk about this because I think this is really, really important when it comes to your self-concept and really just understanding what you're actually doing. This is so much deeper than just manifesting something in. This is about you becoming the version of you that is living the life of their fucking dreams, that is living and having the amazing relationship that they've always wanted. So one of the things that you're doing when you're changing your self-concept is when you initially start this, you will go back and forth. You're not solidified and rooted in this new version of you because the old programming is still very dominant in your subconscious mind. And most of you aren't aware of it, because the only way we're aware of what's in our subconscious mind is two things. One is how you feel, because your thoughts create your feelings and emotions. So your dominant how you feel throughout your day is going to be a good indicator of what is going on in your subconscious mind. The other way you know what's in your subconscious mind is what the fuck you're manifesting in your reality. So that is how you start understanding, even if you can't consciously be aware of what is in the subconscious mind in that moment. I know this is crazy, conscious, subconscious, you know what the fuck I mean. That your feelings will let you know, because thoughts create your feelings and emotions. So if your emotions are angry, hurt, rejected, lonely, sad, then you know your dominant story at play is something that's producing those emotions. So those are thoughts that are rooted in some kind of shitty story, okay? So this is what you're doing. You're changing and reprogramming your mind through constant repetition. So the way you reprogram your mind is through constant repetition. This is what I did. This is what works. This is what I see constantly over and over again with people working and how you change. So what starts to happen is the main thing that people struggle with the most, and I don't think a lot of people who teach this understand this because they haven't really manifested their SP and recreated them, and they're just kind of parroting back what other people are saying, is when you first start reprogramming your self-concept, you don't believe it. And that's why you have to do it through repetition and to reprogram your mind until you convince yourself, until one day you actually know, oh yeah, this is who I am, because you kept moving your thoughts over and over again into a storyline of who that version of you is that is confident, loved, wanted, and fucking secure, okay? She's in the relationship of her dreams. He's in the relationship of his dreams. So you kept training your mind to focus on that. Now, in that process, as you're going back and forth, because your thoughts create your reality, you start focusing on a new story, your 3D will give you sprinkles of those reflections. But those reflections are not dominant and they're not constant. Why? Because inside of you, your dominant story is still going back and forth, right? We all know this, but I'm trying to break it down so you really understand what you're doing with self-concept. So now, because your dominant story is still the old self-concept, and you're in this transitionary period where you're kind of in limbo, because here's the old version of you that you're dying off basically, and here's the new version of you, and you're still walking the path until you become this new version of you. So in that space between those different versions, it is unfamiliar territory and it's not stable, it's transitionary. So in that transitionary period, you're going to be triggered in your 3D. So I was triggered quite a bit in my 3D, and every time I was triggered, I just went within and focused on the story that I want, despite having the complete fucking opposite showing up in front of me. You can't bypass this, because to instill a new belief system means you have to accept it as a new belief, as your truth. And if we've had this self-concept that says otherwise for quite a while, it takes time and persistence and consistency and repetition to reprogram it until it becomes a new belief. That's what we're all doing here. So as you're doing that, you're going to get sprinkles of your 3D reflecting in those new thoughts you're thinking, but they're not permanent, right? It's not like this consistent flow of getting favorable momentum with your SP, because that's what most people experience in the beginning. And this is where you got to go within and understand what's happening. Well, I've been affirming my new story, so because I'm that fucking powerful, my reality has to reflect it back to me, but it isn't consistent with a lot of movement in my favor, because inside of me, I'm being triggered, my old story's still dominant, and I keep going back and forth from old state to new state, old self-concept to new self-concept. So that's where you anchor the fuck in even more, and you keep reprogramming your mind. You don't give up. You don't allow something out here to say to you, well, this doesn't work. Or, you know what, fuck it. None of this is working. I don't believe this. Blah, blah, blah. And then you give up on yourself and you go right back to your old way of thinking dominantly. You will have moments like that. You might have days like that. And that is okay, because it's a human experience and it's a process. And you want to work to move yourself mentally out of that thinking. Because the more you change your mental thoughts, your feelings have to catch up. Your emotions will follow, because your thoughts are what are creating your emotions as well as your reality. So having said that, what will happen is something, everybody's different, something will finally shift in you. And you'll know it, you'll feel it. You will feel dominantly this new version of you. So this is what happened to me. I was dominantly in my old self-concept, kept reprogramming my mind. I kept manifesting what was dominant in my subconscious, which was my old self-concept. So I kept manifesting a lot of things, and in my 3D, I had a lot of unfavorable things showing up. And every time those unfavorable things showed up, I would go within and focus on my self-concept and focus on the story of me in the wish fulfilled, having the relationship of my dreams, reaffirming that no matter what showed up out here, it does not change my self-concept. So I kept affirming who I am, even when my 3D wasn't reflecting that. And over time, those thoughts became more dominant. And because those thoughts became more dominant of my new self-concept, I started to feel better. Because remember, I'm going to repeat this a lot because people don't understand this. Your thoughts create your emotions. So your emotions are simply an indicator to let you know where your thoughts dominantly are, or where they're headed, or where they're currently at. So the more I kept reprogramming through every trigger, each time I was experiencing something in my 3D that was not favorable, or literally the fucking opposite, it started triggering me less and less. And then one day I had an internal shift, because I just kept refocusing on my self-concept and moving myself in the wish fulfilled. And I had this new self-concept that was now dominant. And it was so dominant. This is how you know. This is how you fucking know you got this shit in the bag. My self-concept was so dominant that one day I manifested an experience in my reality that was from my old self-concept, and I faced it head on in person. And guess what? This girl had no fucking emotional trigger. There was nothing that upset me. And I knew I got this shit in the bag because I changed. It had nothing to do with what was reflected out here, because actually that moment I had the complete opposite reflected in my face. But because internally it did not fucking bother me, I knew even more in that moment that, oh my God, I'm gonna get everything I want. It rocked my confidence through the roof, because I saw how different I was internally. And once I had that shift, everything flooded the fuck in. And now I have all this fucking consistent movement, and I've had it for a while, and it's amazing what I have manifested when it comes to my connection with my SP. Something new, amazing, and so different than I've ever experienced. Why? Because I'm fucking different. I am different. And one of the things that's really beautiful about this is so different because of me, that this is the first time in my life where I have an SP in my life, and even especially my current one, where I don't have insecurities and I'm no longer anxious. And it's not because I have so much consistent momentum. It's because in those moments in between, my self-concept is so dominant that my brain now only naturally assumes in my favor. See, before, when I would be around him or I had a dominant, shitty self-concept, even if I wasn't around him, my brain would always be anxious, insecure, assuming the worst, looking for the evidence to support, my fears, my insecurities, and all that bullshit, okay? My old self-concept. Now, what happens is my brain literally bypasses anything in my reality that says otherwise to my outcome that does not match my new beautiful self-concept who fucking knows her worth and value and is not even worried. And what it does is it always automatically, I don't even have to force it, automatically now it just assumes in my favor. Constantly. If anything it hyper focuses on in my reality, it seeks out the evidence of everything in my reality that only supports me in the wish fulfilled. And it's fucking amazing. And this is why you're reprogramming your self-concept, because you will be different. And by you being different, not only can you manifest a different version of your SP, because you're actually able to sustain how you see them in your mind because your self-concept matches that reality, but you will be brand new. How fucking good would it feel to not feel insecure around your person? This is life-changing, guys. This is the first time in 40 plus fucking years that I just understand who I am and I don't doubt it or question it. And nothing in the 3D is fucking rattling me and everything is unfolding in my favor and it's coming in quick, hot, and fucking fast. And to me, the most beautiful thing is how I feel calm, how at peace I am, because I've never experienced this version of myself when involved with somebody in my romantic life. And it's so empowering and amazing. And this is why I teach what the fuck I teach, because I have done all the other shit where you just focus on SP, and I wasn't able to sustain it because my self-concept, and I always felt insecure, especially if I wasn't getting movement or I don't know, because again, my brain could only focus on what it was assuming, which is going to assume what my self-concept says about me. And now I'm having the opposite experience because I've reprogrammed my mind into this fucking new self-concept. And all I know is that it doesn't matter what shows up in front of me, I'm getting what I want. And it's just amazing. And the feedback that I'm getting in my reality, it does reinforce it, absolutely. And it has been consistent. But even with that, I still am dwelling in my mind. I'm still focusing on beautiful, favorable stories because they're just naturally popping in my brain because my assumption of me now is different. See, now I have a new belief system that I reprogrammed. So this is why mental diet is important. This is why you stick it the fuck out. It is not about your SP, it's about you. This is why you need to understand what's going on with you. And the way you're really gonna fucking know is when something manifests in your reality that your 3D is showing you that is not what you want and it doesn't fucking shake you and rattle you. Then that's how you know, holy fuck, I believe inside of me, I believe in my internal world more than what I just experienced out here. And that is when you know, oh, I got this shit in the fucking bag. Please do not give up on you, because any romantic person in your life, whether it's an SP, X, same thing for some of us, or it's somebody brand new, they are only mirrors to you. And they're only showing you what is going on with you internally. So your work is to just stay focused and reprogram. And the only way to consistently transform your inner self is to keep reprogramming it until you have accepted that, no, this is who I am. And then your brain will start to assume naturally in your favor, and you will get to experience the evidence in your reality dominantly that's in your favor. Because here's the thing. One of the things I noticed and was able to see now that I literally have done everything I set out to do a year ago. Yes, it took me a year, and I don't give a fuck because I told you I got what I want. And if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be where I am today. And again, it's how you feel, the peace you have. See, I understand now because I have this dominant belief in me. I always believed and knew that I could manifest an SP bag. I always knew and believed that my thoughts create my reality. I always knew and believed in we are this fucking powerful, especially when I became aware of law of assumption and really understood everyone as you pushed out. But this was the only thing in my life that was my biggest hurdle, because I have natural assumptions that are very favorable with any other area of my life. This for me was, if I master this, I got everything at like, oh my God, I am unstoppable. And that is what has happened. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect or whatever. I'm saying that I have overcome my shitty self-concept of 40 plus years of programming in a year. And now I'm on the other side of it. And now I'm experiencing something so magnificent within me and who I am. And now I get to sit back and I'm just watching this beautiful, amazing man be this version that is, oh my God, gorgeous and luscious and vulnerable and just this beautiful man. And it's just an amazing experience. And I am calm. It's allowing it to unfold. It's not worried about anything. It's just getting better every single fucking day. And this is why you do this. It's not about them. It's about what happens to you. Could you imagine, like I said earlier, to finally be in a place where you're so confident in your worth and value, and you know that you're fucking loved, and you know how amazing you are, that you just know you got this in the bag, and that you're the operant power of your reality, and you just sit in that trust, and you're in that peace, and you just let this person in your life just manifest in, keep showing you evidence every day, and you're not out chasing it, and you don't need the reassurance, and you're just in this safe, secure place knowing it's fucking done for real, where you're not anxious, you're not insecure, you're not over analyzing thoughts, you're not thinking this, you're not thinking that, you're only assuming in your favor, and you just know, and you're just letting it all come to you, and it just keeps coming. It's fucking unreal. And this is why I had to share this with you, because this is what has been happening to me for quite a while now, and you're going to be getting a lot more content from me about being on the other side of this and the transitionary period. And if you really want to learn even more details that I share in my paid Facebook group, where I jump in once a month with a live Zoom coaching session that we do together as a group and talk about all of this, as well as an audio training every month and as, you know, private support group in there, then join. The link is below if you want that reinforcement and that support for you. If not, that's okay too. Get me on TikTok. You know, I'm doing lives on TikTok as well. I'm going to start doing those a couple times a week. And obviously in the YouTube, I'm going to share with you guys, because I don't withhold anything on my platform, on my free platforms that can help you. I share everything that you need to know to empower yourselves. But if you want that additional support and pick my brain, then I have this amazing group for you. If not, it's okay too. But do not give up on you. This is not about them. It's about you. See, whether I picked him or someone else, I still needed to do this for myself so that whatever relationship I have, I will be successful in, because I had to change limiting beliefs that were not allowing me to receive the versions of these amazing people in my life, especially this current SP that I've known for 3 years. And I have this version that I have never experienced in 3 years. And all because I'm different and he's experiencing me different in 3 years. And now we have this whole brand new connection that neither of us have experienced together. It's like this whole brand new thing, and it's just amazing and incredible. And I just want you all to get there. So don't give up. Don't give up on you. All right, I love you all. I will see you. Bye.